One of the things I've enjoyed about the Star Wars saga has been the politics. And I know that sounds weird because I think in the prequels, when they were released, a lot of people were very disheartened by the fact that there was so much politics involved in the Star Wars storytelling there from 99 to 2005. I disagreed because I really actually enjoyed that layered storytelling and how a Senator Palpatine actually utilized his position of power to influence both sides of a war, actually manipulating an entire war so that he could actually gain power behind the scenes. I thought it was pretty masterful storytelling. But that is the politics of Star Wars. But there's one aspect of Star Wars that has been frustrating for me personally, specifically with the current Disney era of Star Wars. That is the politics in Star Wars. And the difference to me is the fact that we have politics that is from our real world and real culture that is being integrated into the storytelling of Star Wars. A lot of people see it, and a lot of people don't. And they're for various reasons, whether it's because they are too sensitive about politics and their point of view being told that's wrong, or it's too insensitive because it's their point of view that's being displayed on screen, so they really don't care. They don't see it. So I kind of fall in the middle into this side a little bit. So what I mean by that is the fact that I am a person that believes strongly in a creator and an artist's ability to express their beliefs. I think that's great. I think it's fine. I have no problem with that. And what I believe, though, the issue is that's significant in the current storytelling is the fact that it's too on the nose. The politics that is in Star Wars from our culture has been too on the nose, and I think The Last Jedi, for me personally, proved that. And the other aspect is that the story of Star Wars it kind of has transcended an individual's beliefs, and I don't think that it should be used as a vehicle for inserting your cultural beliefs and inserting your political viewpoints, not blatantly. And the reason being is because Star Wars has such good storytelling that it transcends any political aisle. It transcends any generation. And if you insert current day, modern day culture and politics into the storytelling, in 10 years, that movie, that story, is going to be out of date and unwatchable or unrelatable to people. And I think that's the beauty of what George Lucas was able to manufacture and do in the Star Wars storytelling. So one of the ways and aspects that I've noticed this happening is in The Last Jedi specifically with, I'll just take the Canto Bight scene alone. And if you want more, you can actually log on to Instagram and you can see a hashtag I did, KSGeekMan, which means Kansas Geekman, TLJ, KSGeekMan, TLJ. And you can see how I actually processed this film on my own and actually tried desperately to like it, but every time I would think about it or talk about it, I find myself more and more disliking it. And then I finally just admitted after I bought the Blu-ray that I just didn't like it. It left me with no hope. It left me with no desire to care what was happening next. So generally speaking, that's where I was with The Last Jedi. It's the only second film in any Star Wars trilogy that I actually have left going, I don't even care. I have no care. I'm not interested in much of what I've seen so far. And that's a sad place to be for me as a fan. So I have my mind open. I'm hoping 9 will win me back, but we'll see. Anyway, so to the point of The Last Jedi and real world politics and culture in there. So one of the things I'm seeing is, and have seen and felt I've witnessed, is the fact of Canto Bight is a big block of that. You have the story that's slowly progressing and moving forward. They're being chased, and then these people go off to a planet where they are enjoying their riches. They're enjoying their wealth. They're wealthy people, and it's like going to Vegas, right? So these people are enjoying their wealth, and what the sense that we get right out of the gate from Rose Tico, without any knowledge of, the slavery issue or any of that stuff, you get right out of the gate, you get a sense that these people are evil simply because they're wealthy. I thought that was kind of lame. Didn't quite get it. And I was hoping to see Rose Tico, maybe progress and go, you know what, maybe, it's not bad to have wealth. It's just how you use it. But I didn't see that. Then the aspect of seeing these children who were slaves being whipped and that kind of thing, and then seeing them destroy a city and a town, and they were okay with that. That wasn't a problem because they needed to resist. And they said, I think they even said, one of them said, seeing that city destroyed was worth it. I'm like, wow, really? That's the result of your cause, is that you just want to see cities destroyed. Okay, it just didn't connect with me. It was kind of, to me, it was very lazy writing, because it was the old rich man bad. Okay, why? So then they decide not to save the slaves, but instead they were more concerned about saving those animals. That's kind of real world to me too. I think there's something that happens in our real world today where people value, they value animals, they value many other things above human life. So for me personally, that's just something I see in our real world politics all the time, and I saw that applied in this film. That they were more concerned about destroying things that they thought were unjust, they didn't like, because wealthy people are just inherently evil because they garnered wealth, which doesn't make any sense to me. And then they decided that, oh wow, look at those slaves, so bad. So let's go and let's save these animals and let's destroy the city and be okay with that and then move forward. So I just thought that was silly. If you don't have time in your storytelling to actually go back and save those kids, those slaves, or even address that you want to save those slaves, just don't put it in there, because it just would have been better, because I lost complete respect or any desire to want to root for the good guys, the resistance, because they just cause destruction, and they don't care about human life unless they align to their belief system. So that's probably the biggest points of contention for me. That's just talking about politics in current day Star Wars. That's not even talking about the politics of Star Wars. That's a whole different video, which maybe I'll address and talk about sometime, because it's very confusing currently. I have no idea what's going on, why there's even this conflict. So maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know, but I just thought I'd kind of talk about these things, as I've had some friends online ask me for my opinions regarding this, and so I thought this might be a good way to actually talk about it and get your feedback and maybe get your thoughts about politics in Star Wars. Am I wrong? Am I missing something? I'm open to the discussion. All I can do is share how I felt when I walked out of there, and I felt like those points and that point in the film was an actual attack on an individual like myself who has a different belief system and a different viewpoint, worldview, than Rian Johnson. And that's something I've never felt before in any of the prior Star Wars films. And I think that's something that George Lucas was masterful at, because I don't really know, based on watching his films, what his personal political viewpoint is in the real world. So that is the beauty of good storytelling. Let the viewer decide, point out some things, point out the tension on both sides of the issue, and let the viewer decide. I don't want to join the resistance. Thanks.